Hi everybody, it's Gail from Gail's Bookish Things. I have a little traveler's notebook junk journal to show you. This was fun to make. This size junk journal is quick to do. It's in the traveler's notebook size, and I like these. It allows you to do the creative expression, but it's much quicker of a project than a full-size junk journal. So anyway, a friend of mine asked me to make a prayer journal for a friend, so I did that. She wanted the journal to be small enough to fit in a purse. She has a mother who's ill, and she thought her friend would enjoy having this prayer journal to take with her when they're at the hospital, and she can focus on the things that she is praying for, thankful for, and concentrating on what God is teaching her through this difficult time and how He's comforting her. So this journal is designed for that purpose. I will come in over here to make sure I'm showing you what I want to show you. It's a little off center, I realize. I put one of the Tim Holtz oversized word stickers there and glued it to this, I guess you call it paper ribbon. It's kind of folded back and forth like a ribbon and sewed down the middle. So I had a little piece of that, and I obviously placed that asymmetrically and put the sticker on top. One of my favorite ways to close any kind of journal is to use this stretchy elastic. It came in a pile of remnants from, I think it's called Mattis Lace and Trim Company. I think you find that on YouTube. Etsy. And so anyway, it's a great bag of stuff, all kinds of trims, ribbons, laces, remnants from, I guess, where they manufacture it, and it works perfectly for embellishing pages and making these ties. So anyway, I love it because it's stretchy. You can keep the knot in, and it just slides off. So it's not a tying thing. You're not worried about ripping your pages if it gets too full. And then one of my favorite things to do is just to attach a bulb pin. Here's a little mini jingle bell and one of the Tim Holtz tags. This one says hope. So I thought that would be good for a prayer journal. And so I selected several papers from a collection. It's so they all coordinate. What I added to it, however, was to coffee dye just some basic white printer paper, and I liked that idea of coffee dyeing it because it's more creamy, and that goes a little bit better with the paper selection, I thought, than just a bright white, but it's a matter of personal preference. So anyway, that's what I did. I like the coffee dyed paper. I like that kind of vintagey look. It adds character, especially when there's speckles and spots from the coffee or drip marks, and it's fun to write on. So I'll just take a quick tour through here and show you. I use stamps from different Illustrated Faith and Creative Retreat sets. I tried to focus on words that have to do with prayer or our relationship with God. So believe, more than enough. I put a clear pocket here, as you can see, and slid in this envelope. It says like. There's a card in there. And then I stamped on there, can you see, praise and prayer. So that just slides in like that. Of course, with any of these little pocket thingies, people can rearrange and do what they want with them. But it just adds a little interest while the recipient is first going through the book, and they can decide how they want to use it later. Pray continually. Most of the colors I use for the stamping are maybe more muted, natural colors, so a yellowish gold, a softer sage or dusty green. So on the pages that were coffee dyed, I generally did a little stamp. Trust with confidence, faithful Father, things like that. I had these library insert pockets already made, these tags already made, so I just put that in there so she could see maybe how that could be used. I thought on these smaller things she can write special prayer requests or verses or gratitude items, really whatever. It's just a place to tuck away your thoughts. As you can see the stamping there. So anyway, on the coffee dyed papers, there's some kind of stamping. I really didn't use too much washi in this. I did the stamping and I did the colorful pattern papers and the coffee dyed, and that's it. I tried to keep it simple. I wanted her to have lots of space to journal because it is a prayer journal. But since these kind of pages you can't really write on, I added some kind of pocket or clipped on something to the printed side. So it's visually appealing. It's not useful so much for journaling unless you attach something to it. You can see miracles, the hearts, a little interest there where the coffee kind of soaked through the paper. I took this IKEA bag, I cut off the bottom end, and I added some little bits of paper there. This little folded, inexpensive paper from the dollar store. I did use washi here to attach it. And so I like how the yellow sets off the gray, which is not as popping of a color as some of these. Some of these I think are real vibrant and really pretty. This one I think needed a little bit of pizzazz, so I put that bright yellow there. How He Loves Us stamp, more speckles from the coffee dye, texture stamps. These are fun to add if you have them, some doilies. This is glued on, but I left it where she could insert a piece of paper under there on each side. And then I added a little inking. I felt like the white on the white was just lost, so there's just a little turquoisey color there. In the inside, I left the tying threads longer so they could come out each end. They can both come up to the top, or they can both come to the bottom. But I kind of like it like this for now, although it probably won't stay that way. And I added some little, I'm hoping you can see that, little bead embellishments on the end, on each end, and the colors coordinated with the cover. So we have Hope. This is a really pretty paper that came in that collection. I'll try to show you that briefly when we're done here. And then these I love. I think I got those at Joann's at the $2 Miss Sparkle thing. I love anything with jars. So I clipped that on there. And this is also a pocket. And that is washi taped in. Trust in the Lord. There's more coffee splatter. I love that. I just love that effect. It's one of my favorite things. And I like the asymmetrical random stamping. Yes and amen. I had these cards done earlier. This says Trust with Confidence. It's on a grid index card. I corner rounded it, put it in the library pocket. It was glued in. These are Tim Holtz stickers, and I stamped Pray on that. And again, here is that gray pattern, which is a little less colorful, obviously, than the other ones in the collection. So I tried to bring it some pop with this bright red library pocket. Miracles. This one says Believe. I might need to add something right there. That's a little plain. So this is an envelope corner. Flips open, and then there's more cards there. Corner rounded also, and cut down a little bit to fit in the smaller envelope. This is pretty as well, I think, but again, for a prayer journal, it would just be an accent. So to make that space useful, I attached, like I said, a pocket, or in this case, an envelope, something that makes that embellishment, I guess, page, accent page, a little more useful and interesting. This one says Jesus, offset hearts, pray, rest in Him with a little stamp. And then these little cellophane bags I think are really fun. So I took some extra scrapbook paper, or the cardstock matches the cover. So when I cut that down to size, I had extra pieces. So I corner rounded that and trimmed the length so it would fit in here. Of course, that's glued down. I had printed these a while ago from an Etsy shop. So it's just a little coffee thing, and I thought the colors there worked great with this flower print, and you know, if you're in the hospital and waiting there for somebody to be treated, probably a cup of coffee is handy. So that's just kind of a fun thing. Obviously, not real coffee, but the idea is, the sentiment is there. This says faithful, and then pray continually. And I also had the pray continually pretty close to the front here as well. So it kind of starts and ends with that sentiment. Trust, little accent dot things. I don't know what you call those stamps. The back is plain. The spine is plain. You can just see the wax linen thread, which I really like working with in a smaller setting like this. It's great also in a full-size journal, but it is so easy to work with when you're just doing a smallish traveler's notebook size. I don't know how many pages I have in this. I'm guessing there's about 40 if you count front and back. I didn't count it, but anyway, so there you go. My latest creation. I've been meaning to get a video done for quite a while. I tried a couple things and they ended up not being worth your time. So this one I think is cute. I hope my friend enjoys it, and I hope her friend that she's hoping to bless with this little gift will equally enjoy it. Thank you for watching. You all have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.